nigga. Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean announcement. We're getting deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And I hope that everyone is having a great weekend so far, except for you Biden sexuals. Oh yeah, I hope the Biden sexuals are having a horrible weekend. We about to make it even worse over here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because as you see on the screen, I know I have to do this because we have to keep our foot on these damn Democrats' necks because they want to play with our reparations money and giving black people tangibles. So we're going to put all of their lies to our community right back in their faces over here tonight. And we're going to be taking a trip back down memory lane because, you know, our people are stiff-necked and stubborn for those that it applies to. But for the rest of us who are on code to actually love our people, we see the lies for what they are. So we're going to give it a little refresher course here tonight. We're going to go over some of Jim Crow Joe's greatest hits, and we're going to go over some of his recent antics. And as you see on the screen here, this is basically what we're dealing with. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And as we know, many people were black, and they decided to go ahead and vote for Jim Crow Joe, or Uncle Joe, as some people call him, because as you saw in the thumbnail and the title, we're going to be discussing Uncle Joe and his hoes. Yes, because yes, I'm saying it. If you are still voting for the Democratic Party with everything that you've seen as a black person, you are one of Uncle Joe's hoes. Yes, we're gonna get into that tonight. Yes, we are. So on the screen here, this is how a lot of you see Uncle Joe. You may as well make him one of you. No matter how much he's done to our people with the 94 crime bill, and his name has been on every crime bill since 1976, then all of this other foolishness and fuckery that we got going on, oh yeah, we finna light his ass up tonight. So I'm just letting y'all know what the tone of the broadcast is gonna be. So if you want to buy sexuals, you're not gonna like this broadcast here tonight. That's it. Let me go over here and greet my esteemed guests. Let me see who we have in the building. Scroll all the way up so that I do not miss anybody. I see my good sister Patricia Jenkins in the building. Patricia Slater. We got both the Patricias over here. TNB in the house. Welcome, good brother. Casey Malone, I see you. Brother Michael Williams, a little country lamb in the house. Chalelle Peterson, hope I'm saying that right, sister. Quasi Blackstar, I see Sister Opal Ivy. Artist Doucette in the building. I see GA, that's what I'm talking about. ATLN_007. Netta Bug, what's going on, Netta J? I see you, sister. And my good sister, Goddess Navi. Saluting and welcome to all of you and everyone that'll be joining us in attendance here tonight. See, family, y'all know how I like to do it. When I get on these damn dirty Democrats, I'm gonna say this. I'm not telling anybody else to feel this way, but I hate them. Yes, I do. I hate them for everything that they've done to our people. And I'm going to keep on waking my people up about their dirty deeds, okay? Because, see, some of you bisexuals have finally seen the light Thank goodness. You should have listened to the New Black Media when we was telling you that before. Okay, but what they said, we all said together. Y'all ready? Gotta get Trump out. Gotta get Trump out. Okay, you got Trump out. Look at this bullshit that we got into now. Oh my God, man, America is in trouble, family. And white folks, yeah, tonight I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to you too. America is in trouble. It's partly your fault because y'all always focusing on black people instead of what's best for the nation. If any of you have been following me on my Twitter, you've seen how bad it's gotten. I know y'all saw the post that I came across at random where they got a damn pillow fighting league. A pillow fighting league for men in Florida. Florida, what are y'all doing? I know that's DeSantis' country and it's hard down there, but damn it, pillow fighting ain't the answer. Oh man, I mean, if it was for women, okay, cool. I'd probably watch that. You know, some cute women and some shorts, some pillows. I mean, look, I would watch that. That's okay. Men pillow fighting? Oh, I hope those are tildes. Oh man, that's Jim Crow Joe and the Democrats' fault too. I'm blaming it all on them. Everything is their damn fault. That's how we gonna do it over here tonight. So, family, I got jokes, but we're gonna get serious over here, and we're gonna start with why is it that so many of our people are just enamored with these damn dirty Democrats? So now we know that for the last 60 plus years or better, our people have been voting primarily Democrat. Okay, so now you may ask the question, after so many years of benign neglect and the fiasco and actually inflicted more harm on our people than anybody, that's to be debated for another day. But after the fiasco of Barack Obama pulling the wool over our eyes, you will probably ask yourself, why would anybody with common sense continue to support these damn dirty Democrats? Well, I got the answer to that, and we're going to get into that shortly here. And it's going to make a lot of sense, okay? Because, see, if you're a young person, some of this information may be new to you. You're an older person, you'll know this, and I'm putting it in the context of so you see why so many of our people are stuck on being hardcore Democrat and using our votes to benefit everybody except for our own people, okay? We finna wake up out of that tonight. So I'm just going to let you know, you're still a hardcore Democrat, you're not going to like this broadcast. That's it. We're going to go ahead and get started with this lesson. And I want y'all to pay close attention. We got a lot of notes to take over here tonight.
Inside Washington's Museum of the Bible, a single volume that is like no other. The so-called Slave Bible. Remarkable not for what's in it, but for what's not.
So about 90% of the Old Testament's been removed and about 50% of the New Testament's been removed. To put it another way, a normal King James Version has 1,189 chapters in it. The Slave Bible has only 232.
Missing are chapters and verses that might have encouraged uprisings. Book of Exodus, redacted. No story of Moses demanding Pharaoh, let my people go. Gone is Galatians, and the verse, there is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. And no Jeremiah, woe unto him that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
What they've left in are verses such as Ephesians 6:5, which is the famous verse, slaves be obedient to your master.
Looking at this Bible, it's hard to tell that anything's been taken out of it.
That's correct. I mean, it looks like a normal book. For many enslaved Africans, this would have been the first time they were exposed to the Bible.
A Bible selectively edited to instill obedience, using religion to underpin the horror of slavery. When people encounter this exhibit, what lasting impression do you want them to leave with?
But we want to pass the message on that may this never happen again. The Bible itself is a whole book. It's not one that you get to carve up and use this piece or that piece.
The Slave Bible designed to repress rebellion, but it didn't work. Enslaved people in the Caribbean constantly fought against slavery until emancipation.
I think it's very relevant to understand our history, not just American history, but our African American history, our roots and how we got to this point.
A dark chapter in the history of the good book. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, Washington.
Hey, NBC News fans.
Now, I let that play for a reason, family, because see, when you look at this blind devotion, this vote blue, no matter who mentality to Democrats, I played that clip for a reason because it goes back to the conditioning of our people during slavery. Now, you may say, well, how is that, Chief? Yes, I'm going to tell you. Because people look at this demon that you see on your screen on the right hand, Jim Crow Joe, okay? People look at the Democrats as a part of their religion now. I mean, we got to call it what it is. White Jesus Democrat. That's where so many of our people were trained. to vote and not use common sense and focus on policy and numbers. And I'm throwing that accursed black church in there, the ones that sit there and let them politicians, primarily Democrats, come to your church when it's supposed to be a separation of church and state, and you sit here and go along with people because they throw you a little bag under the table. Okay, look, man, I wish we had a forensic audit on every one of them damn black churches. You get found to be taking money from any political party, your asses need to be shut down. But man, don't get me started on that. That's a conversation for another day. They are a betrayal to the Most High, okay? Especially when you see that our people are getting nothing in return for our votes. Voting is supposed to be a business transaction. I've said it many times. You wouldn't work for free. You do not vote for free, okay? So now, what are we going to do about it? That's the question. What are we going to do about it? Are you prepared to break that conditioning if you're listening to the sound of my voice tonight and you're still on the bisexual train? Because if you're not, I'm going to refresh your memory. Because, see, listen, we have to put this back in your faces because we tried to tell you all. But, see, you know the white man's ice is colder. And a lot of you, hey, you just had to get Trump out, right? So we going to let Jim Crow Joe tell you about, you know, what would happen if you didn't vote for him. And many of you followed Uncle Joe's advice. You took the advice, hook, line, and sinker. So we're going to go on right back down memory lane and let this play.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No, because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole in the country. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Remember this heifer here? But see, you know what? Look, I know what needs to happen with her because, see, we have to put all of the vote blue, no matter who, and Democrat culprits on trial. So I'm going to let the man that they fear so much tell her what she needs to do. And I think everybody will agree with this. So I'm going to let him speak to us right now.
Shut up, silly woman. Shut up, silly woman. Shut up, silly woman. Shut up, silly woman. Shut up, silly woman.
Yes, the orange man said that ever so eloquently. Because, see, when you look at this long shoe face, low down, dirty, slimy, weaselly, kicking it with low down, dirty Willie Brown, I support locking up black parents because there's kids miss school, low down, dirty snake in the grass, opportunist, flat back, I don't know whether I'm Asian 1 minute, I don't know whether I'm Jamaican 1 minute, Indian the next, just all over the place. Ultimate snake in the grass face helper right here. Okay? Yeah. See, we going to get on their asses tonight. I told you, they ain't going to like this broadcast. Oh, because I'm just getting started. I want you to look at this creature's face, and I'm calling it what it is. This isn't a human being. This is a damn creature. Locked up my people, didn't show no compassion for us. You're a damn creature. Let me talk to you ski-wee skanks that supported this piece of shit right here. The first clue you should have known that you couldn't trust the bitch. She came out in the primaries. Oh, she was going full force at Jim Crow Joe. Oh, all the segregation, all the stuff, racism, accusations about women against him, all that stuff. Then let me talk to y'all how Jim Crow Joe and his cronies talking about this bitch when they offered her that vice president position. They went back behind the scenes. Even if Joe was sweating, it was like, oh, what am I going to do? They're like, Joe, calm down. This bitch will sell her soul if you offer her any type of position of power, okay? You've got to forget, this is her whole political career. She flat backed it to the top. So Jim Crow Joe came on out there and offered her vice president slot. And all of a sudden, Jim Crow Joe was the greatest thing since sliced bread. You cannot trust this snake. And I'm saying it to every one of you black women that supported this piece of shit. How stupid could you be? Come on, man. At some point, if she was riding for the sisterhood, how you flip that easy because somebody offered you something? And see, it's not just her. Let me not just get on her. That go for the entire damn Congressional Black Caucus too, okay? Somebody that's willing to sell you out that easy and then you throw your weight behind them? Come on now. Now, I know a lot of you sisters have seen the light, but what I'm saying to all the sisters that are on code, y'all gonna have to keep y'all feet on their neck because I recognize there are some battles that women can fight better than men when it comes to dealing with y'all. It's up to y'all to get on them Heauxs, man, because, see, they played you. They made the biggest fools out of you. And, see, I'm going to tell you why I think that's a good thing. Oh, yes, I want you to bear with me and listen to what I'm saying to you. It's a good thing because one thing I know about black women, I don't like people making fools of you. Oh, no, you don't. And I'm talking to all the boss chicks. You know, all of y'all that like to tell us how much of a boss chick you is. Well, if you're a boss chick, rule number one is you pay attention to your bottom line, policy and numbers. So you cannot tell me that since Biden and Ski Skank here have been in office, that policies and numbers have been on your side. No, you can't do that. Remember what happened to you during the pandemic? Who had the highest rate of evictions out of everybody in the country? It was our sisters. Did the Ski Skank give a damn? No, she didn't. So what I'm telling you is, you owe this bitch one. We all do, okay? Now it's time to get on cold black men, and we got to give them what they've given us. Benign neglect. Because, see, now we've got reason. You can't tell us no about any type of financial benefit or aid to us when it comes to reparations and anything else, because blank check to Ukraine, okay? You sure papering up all these damn illegal, and some of them soon already illegal, because thanks to that damn temporary protected status in these damn sanctuaries. See, that shit got to go. They papering them up left and right. You got people coming over here fleeing from their country, healthy, able-bodied men. Now they kicking it in Jordans, got cell phones, staying in luxury hotels. I want you to let that sink in. I'm talking particularly to our black women, okay? I want you to let that sink in. You got illegal aliens over here after you work hard every day in your life. They staying in luxury hotels that you ain't even seen the entrance lobby of, huh? Off your taxpayer dime. You like that shit, huh? So the next time one of these Heauxs get to talking about this shoe-faced bag of dog shit on this screen right here, you hit their ass with these facts. Because we ain't done by sight tonight. We're going to get back to it.
All those of you who volunteered and worked the polls in the middle of this pandemic, local elected officials, you deserve a special thanks from the entire nation. And to my campaign team and all the volunteers, and all who gave so much of themselves to make this moment possible, I owe you. I owe you. I owe you everything. And to all those who supported us, I'm proud of the campaign we built and ran. I'm proud of the coalition we put together, the broadest and most diverse coalition in history. Democrats, Republicans, independents, progressives, moderates, conservatives, young, old, urban, suburban, rural, gay, straight, transgender, white, Latino, Asian, Native American. I mean it, especially those moments, and especially those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb. The African American community stood up again for me.
Now, you may say, GBS, why you keep rubbing this in our face? Why you going back to this? Well, it's necessary, and I'm going to point something out to you that many people probably didn't tell you when we first went over this, because many people have played this back to you. And salute to my good brother, Black Voltron, for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. During this portion of the speech that you just heard, though, I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you. You saw those names that he named out in this speech? You see the order in which he did it? Huh? Who did he say for last? Who did he say for last? Which group, so-called backbone of the Democratic Party, did he say for last? The African American community. You see, let me tell you something about that. Now that you go back and look at this in hindsight, this should piss you off more than anything ever on the planet. All of those groups he named were all the groups that he did something for except for us. He used your vote as a stepping stone for them. What did you get out of it today? See, the Boule bootlicks, oh, they got their little crumbs, their little chump change out of it. The last king of chicken wings, Roland Martin, rotisserie, bacon back bastard you. Oh, all the little shields, they good. Are you good right now? With all this record inflation, everything going up, you good right now? Do you feel like you got your money's worth when you voted blue no matter who? Do you like it? Are you comfortable right now? Oh, because all them other groups that he named, oh, they're comfortable off of your effort and your taxpayer dollars. You can't even get the benefit, you. Huh? So I want to pause it right there and let that sink in. Let's let Uncle Joe finish talking to it, though, because he made a lot of promises.
You've always had my back, and I'll have yours. I said at the outset, I wanted to represent this campaign to represent and look like America. We've done that. Now that's what I want the administration to look like and act like. For all those.
Yeah, so that was his speech. Now that was his speech. That's what he told you. And we got the tweet right here because see, I preserved this. I'm gonna keep putting this in our face, and I'm not the only one. We're gonna all keep putting this back in your faces because see, come time to re-vote for him, you got two options. The same two we offered the first time. Either sit it out, okay, and hold your vote, or if you're gonna do a protest vote, demand some tangibles, okay, from the other side, and go there. Whoever you give your vote to, don't give it to these goddamn Democrats because see, look at this tweet that he said. In his speech, especially for those moments when the campaign was at its lowest, African-American community stood up for me. They always have my back and I'll have yours. Oh, he got your back all right, don't he? Huh? And he's showing you just how much of your back he got so far here. Because, see, we're not done yet. Oh, yeah. Because, see, we'll go ahead and rewind this, put this in your faces, and we're going to just state the facts over here. Oh, yeah. Gonna state them. Because, see, we got to discuss something. The title of this broadcast tonight is Uncle Joe and his hoes and how much they hate America. Well, we're going to have to discuss some shameless behavior from some hoes in our community. And before I announce who they are, yeah, I'm going to let Jim Crow Joe make a couple of statements here. Let's let him talk.
Our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LLJ Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been. And MC Light, both of you, thank you.
Yeah, you heard it. Oh, y'all know I wasn't going to let that slide. Oh, I've been very busy, but I wasn't going to let that slide because, yeah, let me take this banner down. Oh, we got to see this. On your screen right here, MC Light and LL Cool J, I'm calling them part of Biden's hoes. Oh, yeah, I'm going to piss some people off. I really don't care about nobody's feelings. The truth needs to be spoken. First and foremost, this is the first time that Biden has called a black man a boy. Now, I'm going to put the question out here because I hadn't heard nobody say it quite like this. When the last time Jim Crow Joe called a grown white man a boy? When the last time you heard him do that, huh? So you can't just say it was a slip of the tongue. Because if that was the case, he'd call every grown man a boy. Okay? Now, when it comes to the other hoe, MC Light, yeah, I'm calling them hoes because that's what they are. Because see, LL, you punk bitch, I'm calling you exactly what you are. You a grown black man, and you got this bastard up here calling you a boy, and you ain't gonna say nothing? You ain't gonna even put out no type of the statement through your publicist? No, that's a bitch right there, man, because there is no white man on this planet that's going to call me a boy to my face. I don't give a fuck what your position is, and I remain solid on that. I'm not playing them kinds of games. I'm not playing no games with these shit eaters amongst us because, see, every time you look up, they pushing the line and towing the line for the damn Democrats. I'm tired of that shit. These are traitors right here, and I'm going to prove my point because, see, let's get on over here. Oh, yeah, I told y'all, man, I'm going to piss some people off tonight. It is what it is. I don't care. This might be the day that you go ahead and unsubscribe and call me everything but a child of God. But see, I got to do this because, see, certain things don't need to be sugarcoated. Let's get this where everybody can see it. We're going to read this together. This is MC Light from her Instagram. Oh, yeah. We're going to read this together. Yes, we are. Mm-hmm. This is what she's telling us by Jim Crow Joe. Thank you to all my brothers and sisters for your love and your warm embrace as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. Okay. First, I want to say that I have nothing but respect, love, and admiration for my big brother, LL Cool J, for being a pioneer in this business, for helping me write some of my iconic rhymes, and for inviting me to be a part of this tribute during the Kennedy Center honors, a high-ranking achievement, which has only been bestowed to one hip-hop artist to date, to the GOAT LL Cool J. I will forever thank, honor, and love him. In regards to the recent occurrence during the Congressional Black Caucus, disgraceful bastards they are, Phoenix Awards, while I do not condone any disrespect of any kind, but you're not speaking against it, so you must condone it. Especially to a black man, we all love and hold in high regard. I do not. I only hold in high regard black men that have their nuts attached and that stand up and defend themselves in the face of white supremacy. So speak for yourself. I must continue. I must say I was actually there, and I do not believe President Biden's comments were malintended. Really, dummy? Well, then why don't he call grown white men boys? Yeah, let me finish reading this. It's pissing me off the more I read. He made a mistake. No, he did not. A mistake I'm sure he regrets. Has he said he regretted it? I ain't heard it yet. Somebody find it for me if I'm wrong. One of my most fond memories is that of being in the presence of my elders when they make a mistake with a name, sometimes even my own. See that kind of crap. How you gonna compare a black elder making a mistake about your name to a damn white supremacist calling a black man a boy? Oh my God! See, let me get through this because this pisses me off. I pray that we will pay more attention to the historic importance of this moment than the errors that were made in it. No errors. What should we all spend time focusing on in this? For the first time in history, both president and vice president of the United States together have acknowledged and embraced and publicly shown their love and appreciation for a monumental achievement in hip hop. Let's try to keep showing each other love and grace. Long live hip hop, man. Scream before I vomit. Let me take this off the screen. Cause see, this is what she's doing right here. First of all, you sitting here talking about, the vice president and the president are honoring hip hop. Before this, before they see that their votes are in trouble with black people, because many of our people are waking up, when the last time either of the motherfuckers said anything to praise hip hop before they got to the position they are now, president and vice president, huh? We have to start calling out our stupid, no matter how much we revere some of them as far as entertainers, because we're at a critical hour in our history where we cannot coddle the stupid amongst us anymore. The time for that is over. If you're not smart enough to see that they're just pandering, then whose side are you on? MC Light and LL, are you telling us that recognition from a damn white supremacist that locked up generations of black people that's still in prison to this day is being in his presence and a bitch that can't even really claim blackness no more than 2 seconds. 1 minute she Asian, 1 minute she this, 1 minute she that. Being in their presence is worth more than that, than you standing with your people? No problem. I applaud you for letting us know that, because apparently it must be. So therefore, as far as I'm concerned, everybody can make up their own mind. I don't see you as no brother or sister of mine. I'm not playing games with these motherfuckers over here, man. People gonna have to start putting our foot in their asses when they do shit like this. This is treason. This would not be tolerated in the see. This is what I respect about the Jewish community. You can't play with them like that. Imagine if he slipped up and called one of them the K word, and one of their entertainers come out and start talking like that, and then the one that he insulted didn't say nothing. They will forever outcast you from their people. See, I get it. Our beautiful humanity is a strength of ours, but it's also a weakness. You got to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. And sometimes, in order to teach these people like this a lesson that we are not going to tolerate disrespect as a collective, you got to cast them out. Cast them out till they get their shit together, or permanently cast them out. Okay? The image that you see is mammyism. That's exactly what's going on, right? But we're not done yet. We got some more to analyze here. We're going to get deep into this tonight.
independent right now. But I will tell you what the president has been guilty of. He has unfortunately been guilty of loving his child unconditionally, and that is the only evidence that they have brought forward. And honestly, I hope and pray that my parents love me half as much as he loves his child. Until they find some evidence, we need to get back to the people's work, which means keeping this government open so that people don't go hungry in the streets of the United States. And I will yield on because he's got...
Shut up, silly woman.
See, I had to play it because that mammy that you heard just then. Oh, and see, I'm thinking she might be a tether. She probably Caribbean because see all that performative foolishness. Notice that even the bootlegs that are violinians, they don't do all that performative stuff. Whether it's the Maxine Waters, whoever you want to name. But this is what I find so shameful about her, that heifer. Why are you not advocating like that for our people? Somebody come at Master Joe, you come out swinging, huh? Don't you, ho? Oh, the kid clothes came off. Family, I don't care if you're pissed off at me for saying it. I'm asking a question. Throw me to the side for a minute. When have you heard her or any of these boule sambozos come out there and speak that passionately in defense of Black Americans today with what we going through in this country, huh? When the last time you heard that? Because see, we gonna give our sisters that are on code that do here tonight, perhaps, the sister that I'm about to play right here, perhaps they should have her job. Perhaps these are the sisters that we should say, hey, you know what? These sisters get what's going on. They're on code. Let's put them in office to do the job for our people that these bootleg and boule sellouts won't do. I'm gonna tell you right now that when I saw this online, this made me proud. And when you're doing this type of work out here on the grassroots, yeah, we human, we have our ups and our downs, but I'm gonna tell you something. And I want every on-code sister to hear the sound of my voice. I don't care what age you are, young or old. Let me tell you why some of us go so hard on you. And I'm gonna say it, because you need to get your flowers for those of you that are on code, and for some of you that are somewhat lost. Let me put this to y'all too. If you truly want to see a nation rise, let the women stand up and do what's right before the men and watch how much that motivates us as Black men. You understand me? You need to be reminded of your importance. You are first teachers. You understand? So when we see you standing up to do the right thing, you know what that makes Black men want to do that on code? Get up and build. Defend and protect our people, okay? Make sure that we go above and beyond to have our complete lineage and as a collective secure. Let me tell you something. This is how you do it right here. Let me go ahead and let it play because, man, I'm telling you, these sisters right here, I want to find out who they are. We need to support them. If they trying to do anything in the community or they got some type of organization going on, they standing for our people like this and bringing the fight straight to these boule bastards and sellouts, these are the people we need to put our weight behind. I'm going to let this play.
We have other problems. You're asking us for our vote. We need an anti-Black crime bill. We have just witnessed in Jacksonville a white supremacist shoot down 3 people for the sake, just simply because they were Black. Subsequent to that, there was another thwarted attempt at a church, right, that was thankfully thwarted, where they wanted to kill Black people in a church. This is literally our life and our world. Within the past 30 days, then up in the Cape, up in Massachusetts, we got young white supremacists sitting up there trying to drown a teenage Black boy in a pond and yelling George Floyd. So we have a real problem. The DNC needs to give us an anti-Black criminal bill. It's extremely serious. Let's reel it back. Let's take it back to Buffalo. Everybody's being shot in Buffalo. No, hold on. In Buffalo, we died. We died in Buffalo, but we got an anti-Semitism bill. What is the DNC doing about anti-Blackness in this country? What are you talking about?
Good question.
No, I just laid it down. What are we doing? We need to do something about lineage-based reparations.
Facts.
If we need to do something about anti-Black crime, you are the DNC. You have the power of the DNC. We don't see it. Joe Biden said that he had our back, but what we're seeing is that he's stabbing us in the back. Thank you. Respectfully.
Respectfully disagree with you two.
I respectfully. Well, you need to respectfully go to the drawing board and look at the current events. Look at what's going down in the national media. We're getting killed.
Well,
Where's our bill?
And listen, man.
They're drowning.
I know that.
The case 2 weeks ago.
I know that.
You want to drown a teenager in a white supremacist, a young one too. They're being breeded. You want to get them drowned for drown for everybody's trying to act like anti-blackness doesn't exist. And on top of that, right here on this university, the Freedmen Center, we're talking about the Freedmen. We're talking about the descendants of U.S. chattel slavery, known as Freedmen and the Negro. When is the DNC going to do something for the Negro? We need but only talk to black people about voting. And that's what you're doing up in here today. Pandering for vote to all of these students up in here. You're sitting on your hand, literally, and then you're going to be disrespectful and walk off the stage. But you want our vote. Sir, we've been voting for 60 fucking years, and we haven't gotten a damn thing from you, or Joe Biden, or Kamala Harris. We haven't gotten anything. Sir, what? No, because I'm mad as hell, sir. 60 years we've been voting. What have we gotten other than being at the bottom class? And this clown here is gonna sit up here and give us this Baptist preacher antics show, and we might see, but I hope you're not buying into that bullshit. I really hope you're not buying into it. Because that is fucking disgusting and disrespectful. To come up here and charge you guys for coming in here to see this shit show, and then not only that, you guys being charged again off the tuition. Do you know that? I'm pretty sure you don't. So, with that being said, I seriously hope that you guys don't go to the poll and vote for no more of these fuckers that sit in office ain't doing a damn thing for us. But these illegals getting $7,000 in DHS. Did you know that? They getting $7,000 a month. Food stamps, vouchers, e-bikes, scooters. They taking jobs away from us. Y'all sitting in here in college paying all this high-ass tuition and probably won't even be able to get a damn job when you graduate. Because guess what else? They haven't told y'all. The certification attached to your degrees, you're going to need certification to go with those degrees. And if you haven't checked into that before you started school, when you go for a job, they're going to tell you that shit when it's over. So now I said my piece. I came to state my point and state my piece, and I've done that. I've done that. No, please not you. Please not you.
Let me tell you something, man. Salute to Sister Sean, and I don't know the elder sister's name, but let me give her a special praise, because see, what was most important and most powerful about that clip, she had the courage to say what she said and stood up in front of the young ones, which are our future. You saw these young sisters' eyes when they was looking at him. Yes, you saw the old mammy in the audience sitting up there with her face all frowned up. But see, let me say this to you elders out there, especially you elder sisters. You know, we give the boomers a lot of grief, but I'm a person, I give credit where credit is due. That's how you earn the title of elder right there, okay? In a time today where so many of the elders are lost and they're not standing up for nothing, they're just thinking about themselves, that sister was speaking with a passion that shows she cares about the future of our people, okay? So you sisters like that, keep standing up. Because see, when the elder women speak and the younger women in the community can see that, hey, this elder is speaking from a place of concern for me and my future, you know what that does? See, let me tell you what the Democrats fear. We're going to go here with it. For the longest time now, over about 5-6 decades, they've counted on putting a wedge between black men and black women. Uplift our women, put you in these little government jobs, corporate positions, or keep blowing smoke up your ass about how you the black backbone of the party, but you can't never get nothing done specifically for you and your community as a whole. Their worst nightmare is what you saw with those two sisters right there. Because see, with black men, Let me show you why you sisters are more powerful than you think. Let's flip it for a minute. Let's just say that was two brothers speaking like that in the same cadence and tone. Oh, they would immediately called in there somebody to come arrest us. But see, this is what's going to come back to bite on the more you find your courage. Sisters, and I'm not saying this to insult you, I'm speaking facts. So I hope that you're mature enough to get what I'm saying. I know the women in my audience will get it, but I'm speaking to those that are not familiar with my platform that may catch this on the playback. You're more powerful than what you think because, see, they don't view you as a threat because they were counting on, okay, just give them something as long as you put them above the black men and they comfortable. They ain't gonna really stand up for nothing. But see, now, those sisters that you heard speak, they've looked at what I've always said, the two main things, policy and numbers. Particularly when you see all these illegal aliens being fled over here and they say, hey, this is affecting my tax dollars for my community, my family, my grandbabies. Okay? So now, the so-called backbone of the party has turned on them by way of intelligence, the work of all of us on the grassroots, new black media, okay? And now they got a problem on their hands. To see one thing that I know, and I'm going to say it again, once you piss black women off and they find out that you played them, you've made a terrible enemy. What you going to do now, Democrats? Because this is only going to get louder. What I hope to see, since there are some places that our women can go that the men can't. See, I'm smart enough to know that. Next time it need to be 50, 60 sisters with the same message. Everywhere you find them nationwide, put your foot on their necks. This is our future we fighting for. Damn anybody's feelings, okay? It's time to politically punish them. Because, see, this horse-faced heifer right here, let me tell you why we're going to need you sisters to keep having that same energy that those two sisters that we just talked about. Sister Sean is one. I don't know the elder sister's name. And salute to the brother Frederick Rash and some chick named Star there. Thank you, First Sergeant, both of you for the cash out. But I don't know the elder sister's name. But see, we're going to need our women with that same type of mindset to take on this little buck-tooth piece of shit right here. I'm going to play what she's about to play, and then you're going to see why I'm saying it.
When it comes to people coming to New York City today are nothing. I'm telling you, nothing compared to the daily amounts of people that we saw coming in through Ellis Island in the first half of this century. We're seeing, more than 12 million immigrants that passed through Ellis Island between 1892 and 1954. And we have seen huge numbers of people coming in per day that far eclipsed what we're seeing right now. Numbers
now more. Shut up, silly woman. Shut up, silly woman.
I had to let the orange man get on her ass. I had to let him do it. Because, see, family, did you hear what this little buck-tooth, oh boy, I can't stand horse-face Ocasio-Cortez. Did you hear the crap that was coming out of her mouth? See, they come over here, classify themselves as white, then they become the most entitled buffer class group ever. They think that their little taco degenerate criminals, because you're a criminal the day you come over here illegally, are entitled to our tax dollars that we need. How you gonna take care of everybody outside your house before you take care of people under your roof, which are American citizens, okay? And white folks, you need to be just concerned because see this little scheme that they got? Oh, what Jim Crow Joe said, you all gonna have to get more used to working with Hispanics now. Yeah, that's finna backfire on you. You're starting to see it now in these different cities. So you better start focusing on this real problem here because, see, if you thought Horseface was the only one pushing this, I want you to hear this bastard right here.
More than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
You heard this bastard? All 11 million or however many there are here. Family, first of all, the lie he's talking about we got a shortage of workers. No, there's plenty of Americans that need jobs of every race. So you can't go there. But see, he told on himself. Because if you were listening closely, you heard him talking about we have a population that's struggling to reproduce. Oh, no, we don't. No, buddy, no, we don't. Put that in proper context. See, what the white supremacists try to do in both parties, right, by the way, they try to make their problems yours. Your people are struggling to get them little recessive genes are churning. You're having trouble, ain't you? Because see, this is what happens when you mess with the Most High's children. Do you do right by us? The struggle genes gonna keep on struggling. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. You being punished for this wickedness. Because see, family, let me show you something. This is what he's talking about. Now, what you're looking at on your screen, I'm gonna play something for you because you need to know what's going on at these borders. This is down by Eagle Pass. We're gonna watch this together. I'm just gonna let it play. There's no sound to it. I just want you to watch this. Eagle Pass, Texas. This is drone footage down there. You know what? Let me take this banner out of the way. I want y'all to see this. Oh, yes. I want you to get a bird's eye view. What's going on here? Oh, yes. Look at them. Lines of them. Crossing bodies of water. Risking life and limb. Grown, able-bodied men. Got little babies. And look, if you follow my Twitter, I posted a clip of one of them heifers going up under some barbed wire with her child with a piece of cardboard over her and the baby. Just no shame. I done told y'all what I would do to stop this. All that land that you looking at right now, I would turn that into the biggest military base. So that way, if your ass get through here, you got to cross about 10 miles of military base. And see, you can shut that down. Down building a wall, build the base, put all the National Guard and Reserve there. And I'm going to say it. Give them the right to shoot the trespassers. That's right. Let's see how bad you really want to come over here. Yeah, I said it. Look at this, man. Far as the eye can see. Like, they're like little zombies, man. Just staggering across the border, coming on in. You can't do this in no other country except for the United States. Which lets you know it's being done by design. You just take a good look at this, right? Look at all this. Oh, my. Say what you want. When Trump was in office, this wasn't happening like that. He had to stay in Mexico policy. He made them stay and get in the right way. Okay? With this open border crap that you see here, man, who knows what kind of criminals and rapists and all kinds of crap come across their border. Because see, we see they already causing crimes while they over here. See, let me give an admonishment. Should go without saying to black parents. Start seeing these people in your neighborhoods, you better watch your babies. You understand me? Because see, I'm not gonna miss no words on this. Where these people are coming from, it ain't nothing for them to target and sexually abuse children, okay? Ain't nothing for them to do it. So you better make damn sure that you watch your neighborhood just like the white people watch their neighborhood when we come through there, okay? Look, you're gonna be the last line of defense for your children, man. You're gonna have to get on the game on what's going on because see, we can't rely on them to protect us from these threats. Because these are threats right here. You don't know what's coming across here with all kinds of diseases. They run around tricking all over the place in New York. Okay? We're going to have to protect ourselves from this. We're going to have to. And see, I got to go here. We remember how quick they turned them Heauxs around at the border, right? Oh, they didn't even let this get started. They got them out of here in 48 hours. I think that was a record as far as deporting. Huh? Look at this line. Hordes of them, okay? I'm gonna just let this play. This is what the Biden sexuals helped vote for. Okay, the Biden sexuals, that footage that I just showed, you helped do that, okay? You helped do that. You are responsible for everything that these damn Democrats are doing because, see, let me play this for you. This is what else Jim Crow Joe talking about here. Biden and his hoes, okay? This is what they're talking about. This is what that heifer with that crooked wig that was talking earlier, going so hard in the paint for Jim Crow Joe. I want you to hear what he's about to say. I ain't going to say no. I'm going to let him talk to you.
Those in Congress who are willing to shut down the government. Just a few months ago, the Speaker of the House and I agreed to spending levels for the government. We were up right to the very edge, almost reneged on our debt, and that we're going to fund essential priorities and still cut the deficit by $1 trillion over the next decade. Now, a small group of extreme House Republicans, they don't want to live up to that deal, and everyone in America could be faced with paying the price for that. We changed it. We made a deal. We shook hands. We said, this is what we're going to do, and now they're reneging on the deal, which is not much of a surprise these days. And the black community in particular is going to suffer if that occurs. For example, shutdown is going to risk nutrition assistance to nearly 7 million moms and children. It's going to disproportionately affect black families. The Department of Housing and Urban Development will have to stop nearly all its enforcement work fighting housing discrimination. EPA would have to stop its important work bringing environmental justice and frontline and fence line communities.
Okay, so now, salute to Anthony Williams for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. So now, you heard what he was saying. So now, we're going to use some common sense. He was talking about the government shutdown. And he highlighted in particular, the black community in particular is going to suffer if it's a shutdown. Now, everybody should suffer since we under the same government. Why you particularly single out us, Jim Crow Joe? I'm going to tell you why. You all better start learning to read between the lines on shit. That lets you know that that's being done by design to harm us. You understand me? By design. You, me, us, and we, as a black collective, we are being targeted. We cannot afford for people to come out here with that vote blue no matter who mentality when we got this damn demon in office. And just in case you don't remember who you're dealing with, let me remind you. I told you, we're going to piss them all off over here tonight. But see, if you're running from the truth, then the Most High is not in you. And we're going to tell all the truth over here tonight. I'm going to let this play.
When I marched in the civil rights movement, I marched with tens of thousands of others to change attitudes.
When I was about the age of the guy standing over there, I got involved in the civil rights movement. You know, when I was a teenager in Delaware, for real, I got involved in the civil rights movement.
I was not an activist. I worked at an all-black swimming pool in the east side of Wilmington, Delaware. I was involved. I was involved in what they were thinking, what they were feeling. I was involved, but I was not out marching. I was not down in Selma. I was not anywhere else.
More than once, advisors had gently reminded Mr. Biden of the problem with this formulation. He had not actually marched during the civil rights movement, and more than once, Mr. Biden assured them that he understood, kept telling the story anyway. That is really, really weird.
So tonight on the podcast, ladies.
So now you heard some of the lies that old Jim Crow Joe got caught in. Yeah. Oh yeah, I told you we gonna flash you back and remind you what kind of demon that you're dealing with. Okay. See, we can't do that. We can't do that. And in fact, the business, let me address something here in the chat room. I'm gonna give you a chance to state your piece. To the brother or sister in the chat that's going by the name First Time. I'm looking in this chat room here and I'm seeing you making a couple of statements. So let me ask you a question, because you said something about responsible for your own oppression. Who are you saying is responsible for our own oppression? Because you must not know what channel you on. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to clarify what you're talking about there. And you're definitely going to do that because, see, over here, we on code over here. Now, if you are Biden sexual, okay, I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm letting you know you're in the wrong place, okay? Because if you made the statement about my people, foundational Black American freedmen being responsible for our own oppression, you're going to need to bounce them out from over here, okay? So I go ahead and clarify your statement. Let me know what you meant, okay? Because see, if you don't do that, I'm just gonna assume that you over here and someplace that you don't belong. We don't play that game over here. So you got a couple of seconds to make your intentions clear. I'm gonna go ahead and make a decision for you. Because one thing you're not gonna do, you're not gonna hold up my broadcast. You're not gonna disrupt the chat room, okay? And you damn sure not gonna blame us for our own situation in this country when we dealing with the greatest evil, systematic white supremacy that is global, okay? So now, and see, let me further address this, because you know what? Okay, let me see what you're talking about. When you give your leadership, I'm going to read it, consent, you are giving away your spiritual consent to your oppressors. Okay, so hold on. Don't nobody talking about, because we're going to deal with this real quick. Let me tell you something. One of the problems that a lot of our people have, and look, people over here believe, I don't know if everybody does, but I definitely believe in the Most High. But one of the problems our people have when we're dealing with physical things, you interject religious or spiritual things. Let me tell you something. Faith without works is dead. You pray, then you act. Right now, what you talking about, that doesn't help us solve the problem, okay? That doesn't help us solve the problem. So what you might need to do, just sit back and listen to what's being stated instead of coming over here trying to be a teacher. Because see, if you want to teach, you can open up your own platform, okay? And I get what you're saying, okay? Because I'm trying to give you a chance to sit over here and listen. I get what you're saying, because I agree. A lot of this has to do with the people that we call bisexuals that help them do that. That's what we're discussing over here. See, sometimes instead of talking, you need to just sit and listen. So I'm going to tell you one last time. I expect you to do more listening than trying to argue with people in my chat, because if I see you becoming a disruption, and I tell my moderators to get you out here, you won't be back, okay? So I'm going to give you a chance to do that. When somebody's laying out a presentation on something, sometimes just hold tight and just listen to what's being stated. Because if you were paying attention to everything that I've been saying so far, you see which side of the fence we're on over here, okay? So with that said, we are going to let our good brother Philip Scott. This is from the Philip Scott podcast, by the way. If you have not subscribed to that brother's channel, he is another brother that's keeping his foot on these damn Democrats' necks. Go over there and subscribe, okay? Good brother doing good work. I'm telling you, you will learn a lot just going down the archives of his channel. Very thorough brother with a lot of his information and statistics. And even if you don't like him personally, you can't argue with the information that he puts out. He does good work. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let Brother Phil speak on some things. He's going to be covering some of the stuff that I addressed here tonight, and he's going to go over some things that I didn't address. Let our good brother educate the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about y'all favorite president of the United States, Joe Biden. I know you love this conversation. Some of you who get so upset with me when we talk about this, but yet you're here listening right now because you know we're speaking the truth over here. You're just dealing with your upbringing as a black person. As we all know, we were all raised, all this including me, to be Democrats from birth. We were raised to be this way. Now, some of you say, what is his issue with the Democrats? Like, why he's so laser focused on them? It's because I'm literally watching what they're doing to my people group, right? And every person that has came in history and saw the wrong that was being done to their people, a lot of people didn't like them calling it out. Some people didn't see it sometime until they were not here anymore, or the person just moved on to something else and they finally saw the light, right? When they stopped talking. So I'm okay with people not, not liking what I'm saying. I know I'm messing with your upbringing. I know that. And to shake you at the core of your being as a black American, I know it's hard, but I'm here for it for a time. Now, I also, before we get fully into this, a person had left a message and they said that, I really like what you're saying and you say you're humble, but, you just, the way you talk to us sometimes, more people will like you and follow you if you just talk, a little nicer. Well, let me tell you something about that, because I want to respond to that. That's been your problem. And I thought about that this morning when I got out of the gym. You want people to coddle you. You want people to say, it's okay, baby. It's all right. And you know good and well you're stubborn and you're stiff-necked. I know this. You my people. I know who you are. The only way we change a lot of times is a swift kick in the butt. That's the only way we gonna change is as a community. We too stubborn for that. So since I know that, I'll do that. I'll do it verbally, of course, not physically, but verbally I will do that. And you look at most of your people who are doing something for a living, whether they were activists, business people, whether they religious figures, whatever. Most people didn't like how they did things, but they got results. So we're getting results. And I know that if we weren't getting results, I wouldn't be doing this every time that you see me doing this.
Now, I agree 100% with what Brother Phil is saying, because see, all of you know, before Jim Crow Joe and Kamala got in office, various new black media platforms warning these people, hey, listen, do not put this anti-black racist in office. Trump, they use him as a boogeyman to scare people. Oh, Trump is so racist. Okay, the Democrats are racist too. What's new? We've been dealing with racism. And if you want to look at the scoreboard as far as who was more harmful, you can't show us where Trump enacted any policies that have harmed our people the way Jim Crow Joe and these damn Democrats have. You can't. Not him particularly. You can't do that. So see, when it comes to voting, which is a business transaction, you take your feelings out of it, okay? See, the future should be in the hands of the politically mature when it comes to any type of voting. You got to get tangibles in exchange for your vote, just the way every other group does. Because see, here's the ultimate insult to injury. All these different groups, the ones that Jim Crow Joe named in that speech, plus all these illegal aliens, they didn't do as much as you did, black woman and black man of America that voted for Jim Crow Joe. They didn't do half of what you did. But they're getting all the benefits off of your hard work. How does that make you feel? See, let me put it to you this way before we let our brother Phil continue. Now, I think everybody should be able to relate to this, because when we talking money, that's a language, usually that's one of the languages that everybody can understand. Give you this scenario. Imagine if all of you in here and all of you listen to me, whether it's on the playback, okay? Imagine on whatever job or profession that you have, you put in overtime, okay, you knocking that overtime out. Let's just say you don't put in 80 hours worth of overtime. Oh man, you getting it. Oh, you think about how good that check gonna look. Oh man, you already making plans what you gonna do when you get it. Then when you come back to work, instead of that check hitting your bank account, they come up and tell you that they're gonna give all the overtime you work to the new guy that just got here. Ain't even half as good as at you as your job, and they ain't work no overtime. So they're gonna give all the overtime to them. How would that make you feel? Don't like that, do you? Put a bad taste in your mouth. Oh, I see some of y'all probably cursing me out in your head for even suggesting that. Well, damn it. That's exactly the situation that you in if you voted for these damn Democrats. You put in all that overtime, and they gave the reward of that politically to all these other groups. Let that marinate with you for a minute. Let's let Brother Phil continue.
Now, let's get to your favorite president. So there was remember Joe Biden did an interview with Charlemagne the God back in 2020. And he talked about, the 1994 crime bill that Biden, and we covered this many, many times, that Biden not only helped author the bill, but he was very proud of this bill. But you bring that up to him today, he would act like he wasn't proud of the bill or whatever. Case in point, we're going to review that, and also his latest thing that he said about LL Cool J. That was, boy, we'll get into that as well, and also MC Lyte tonight. Yes, we're getting into her as well. So let's go ahead and cue up the video of Biden, and we got to talk about this and break this down.
I gotta ask you though, why so much resistance on admitting the crime bill and other legislation you are a part of was damaging to the black community? Because we had Hillary on a few years ago, and Ms. Clinton said that the crime bill, we made a lot of mistakes with that, and she wanted to atone for that by becoming the next president.
She was wrong. What happened was, it wasn't the crime bill. It was the drug legislation. It was the institution of mandatory minimums. which I oppose. Mandatory. I oppose the ban.
I thought you was a part of that in '84 as well. The Comprehensive Crime Control Act that established mandatory minimum sentences for drug offenses.
No. What happened was what you're confusing is what happened.
When people say what happened, when you hear people say, "Oh no," what happened was usually some BS behind it. But let's continue.
The Black Caucus came to me and said, "Look, I did this study when I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We looked at every district of the."
If you have a piece of crack cocaine, no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, $1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice.
So as you clearly saw that Biden was lying, but this is the question that I have. Okay, and Biden was smiling back in that time period because I remember 1991 very, very well. Boy, there was some good years back in the 90s. Listen, a lot of y'all living today, a lot of y'all millennials and Gen Zs, y'all really missed out on a whole lot. I say between the 80s, I think the 80s and 90s was about the last good times I really say in America. I maybe think early 2000s. Let's say up to after 2005. This place been going downhill since then. But as you heard, he wants to put people who they claim today was to have a medical issue, right, or mental illness. He wanted them in jail. He wanted where judges can have no compassion for the person at all. Right, that the judge had to sentence this person who wasn't a criminal, who didn't harm anybody, who didn't do anything like that, maybe just a harm to themselves, to jail them, to make them the new slaves and ruin them even more in jail, not treatment centers. I can understand, okay, you get a mandatory treatment center, rehab center. Okay, that's fine. You have to do mandatory rehab to get you off of this, substance that's harming you and harming the community. But no, he wanted them in jail where people that, kill people in there that's terrorists, all kind of people. That's why he wanted to put people who had a sickness. I've seen people, male and female, in my own community get on crack. See them go from great productive people to just crackheads. Horrible, horrible thing to see. They didn't harm nobody. Were they begging for $5 all the time to get some drugs? Yeah. It's sad when they get to the point they do anything for $5, $10. That part was sad. It was real sad. I mean, they do anything. You can get them to do anything. Trust me. At that time period, and seeing all that would happen in the community, the crack epidemic and all of that is what a lot of my inspiration comes from, to work hard, for my children not to see anything like that. Not my children being around some pimping and some females on the track, drug dealing gangs. No, like I said, I will never allow my kids, with all my strength, and God help me, to see anything like that. And thank God they have not seen something like that, because I saw enough of it. But Biden, instead of trying to help people, he wanted people in jail. Now, he mentioned Senator Thurmond. Strong.
Now, let's pause right there, because, see, Phil is absolutely correct. He mass incarcerated black folks when our people were having a medical issue, okay, because they put the drugs in our communities in the first place. But when it comes to his people, oh, family, y'all done seen them all over the country. Boy, let me tell you something, boy. If they were not such evil, vindictive people, I would almost feel some type of compassion for them, but I don't. Not as a collective, I don't. Are there individuals that are good here or there amongst the dominant society? Sure, there are. But as a collective, I feel nothing. Because, see, none of them nor their families stood up to advocate for our families. And it's that we get the same treatment they're getting now. Oh, it's a medical issue now. But see, let me tell you what, that's going to come back to bite them, man. And we already seeing it. One of the things that happens to you when you practice injustice and when you overlook doing the right thing, you end up hurting yourself. Because, see, the more that you leave these meth zombies out here, they hurting your community. That's what's going on. And the double whammy to it, besides the crime, the more of them that you let roam free, like Oregon, they made it legal for them to be running around out there doing their dope, okay? You seen the little safe smoking kits that Biden was giving out for his people? Remember, this is why white supremacy is not as intelligent, or should I say rational, because you have to be intelligent to keep the system in place. I would say it's not rational because you already facing a declining population. The fentanyl and the meth is taking you out of here left and right. Your numbers will hit the hardest no matter how much you lied during the pandemic, okay? Then the little recessive struggle genes, boy, they cripple, boy. They can't get much going, can they? You're aging out faster than you being born in all 50 states. So then you sit here on top of that and you legalize the drug use? Not too bright for the people that tell you they got high IQs, huh? Is it? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. So that's how it comes back to bite you. But we're going to let our good brother Phil continue here because he's got a lot more to say. And look, I agree with his brother. He is spot on with everything that he's saying. But he's going to cover a lot more things that I didn't mention earlier.
Thurmond. You know, Strom Thurmond, who did a 24-hour filibuster of the 1957 Civil Rights Act that they was trying to pass back then.
And by the way, for reference, to go to show you how dirty the damn Democrats are, both parties, but we talking about them, the filibuster is a rule. It's not a law. They could change that anytime. When they get to talk about, they filibuster, okay, it's a rule. It's not a law. You could change that if they wanted to. I'm just throwing it out there. Look it up for yourselves. Let Brother Phil continue.
He was filibustering that long because he did not want, as a quote, black people, not to say, because, you can't say the other word on here anymore. He didn't want black people in the shops with them, and he didn't want them in the movie theaters and restaurants and anything else. Well, you look at it, 70 plus years later, and not only is black people in all these, particular places, he did not want them, but now you have literally white women morphing themselves into black women. I mean, that's just really what you see today, right? So I bet you Senator Thurmond didn't expect that to happen, right? That's way past segregation. But Biden was lying all the way around. And we have pointed a lot of this out prior to him being elected. But when Biden made that call, about voting for him, you couldn't help yourself. And if you don't remember what he said, let me cue it up on the soundboard.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
And a lot of you who are listening were black. And I know you realize, some of you have realized that I made a major mistake by voting for this guy. And I'm going to turn it around and do something different, right? Either I'm a protest vote for the side, or I'm not voting for nobody. Either or, I said that's my statement. I don't care who you vote for. Just don't give it for Democrats. I don't care if you vote Green Party. I don't care if you vote Libertarian. I don't care who you vote for. Hell, you could write somebody in if all I care. Go ahead. Just don't give it to Biden and them because they don't deserve black people's vote. I'm clear on that. Vote who you want for. Just don't fool the Democrats because they have been detrimental to our people. A lot of our people today is still in prison today. They should be let out, record clean, should be given a reparations for that. Help, all this help they're doing for illegal immigrants, a lot of them legal now, and yet they can't help nobody they mass incarcerated in this country. But let's continue.
The institution of mandatory minimums, which I oppose.
They have got to keep every prisoner in jail like we do federally 85% of the time for which they're sentenced. Right now, they're only kept in jail in the states on average 41% of the time. I like the idea they keep in jail longer. I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced, and the notable exceptions only 85%. So I'm all for tougher enforcement.
As you heard Biden in 1995, he was proud of that bill that mass incarcerated black people. They targeted black people with this bill with the help of the Congressional Black Caucus. Because what Biden said about the Black Caucus, he's right. He was not lying about that. The Congressional Black Caucus did go along with the 1994 crime bill. They didn't stand against it. Not only the Black Caucus, but your black preachers went along with the 1994 crime bill too. So you can't just say Biden. This is why I tell you that when it comes to these politicians, we really need to start within the black community first. with going after the black Democrats because they have sold us down the river. No other group has came up and advocated for their people to be mass incarcerated for anything.
Brother Phil is 100% correct because, see, in order for white supremacy to function as efficiently as it does, it has to have help from within our community. And he just called out some of the main culprits because, see, let me tell you what I find most egregious about those accursed black preachers that this applies to, because they're nowhere near close to the Most High at all. I've said it many times, the ones that you see and all these fancy suits got more jewelry than rappers running around here in Rolls Royces and Learjets. The Son of Man did not even have a place to lay his head when he was walking down here preaching the word. The Son of God, Jesus Christ, did not have a place to lay his head. So if a slave is no greater than his master, what you doing with all this stuff that your master never had? Huh? And then you're not doing nothing for the people. But see, what I found most egregious about these pastors, these pastor pork chops that this applies to, instead of asking for a damn crime bill back then, why didn't you, if you love your flock and the youngest among your flock, say, hey, listen, Democrats, yes, we got some issues in our community, but incarceration may not be the first answer. Give us funding to open up opportunities for our young people, okay? Let's try that, because most of what they're doing is because they don't have resources for opportunities. They don't have community centers or after school programs, things of that nature. They didn't even try that because they got theirs. They just jumped straight on, oh, you gonna give me a bag? Hey, lock these little young niggas up. And see, this is why you hear brothers like myself and TBA tell you all the time, you got to watch these old niggas. You got to watch them. They sold our young people out with they hateful, evil, greedy, demonic asses. But see, they gonna bust hell wide open for that. Because see, that right there, that helped destroy our communities. We still reeling from that to this day. So for those of you that run and go vote Democrat, you helping continue the problem. At this point, you can't deny it because we showing you the truth. So at this point, you got two choices to make. You hear us telling you this and you can see this stuff happening and say, hey, you know what? We don't care. We're just going to do it anyway. Or you can say, you know what? Yeah, it's time for me to make a change and do the right thing for our community, for our people, if not for yourself, for the future, our young people. They don't deserve this. I love our black young people, man. They are such brilliant, bright minds. And they're facing the worst time in history to be a young black person in America. All this inflation. So they got their backs against the wall. The last thing they need is for the older people to turn their backs on them. See, you earn the title of elder and respect by trying to help the young generation, not turn on them. You don't see that in the Jewish, the Asian, the Hispanic, the East Indian, the Arab community. You damn sure don't see it in the white community. They know the future of their people are the young. But see, these old boule bastards here, as long as they got theirs, they don't care about nobody else. Let's let it continue.
Let's call it what it is. Where's the Asian community advocating that all their people who's participating in the massage parlor, human trafficking that they're doing, it is a crime syndicate. Yet where are they advocating for their people to be locked up for human trafficking? Matter of fact, the Asian caucus says nothing about the human trafficking in their community. Seriously, if I would go with my camera with Brother Sharif and y'all would be freaked out how on every freaking corner you got that mess going on. And the police know, the FBI know, Homeland Security know. They raid a couple of them. They arrest some of them. It shuts down. They pop right back up tomorrow. But the Asian caucus isn't out here talking about, hey, Biden, we need a human trafficking bill because we need to lock up our own people. No, they mess quiet because in the homeland, tricking is legal in a lot of places in the homeland. It's just part of life, the tricking. So they bring the tricking over here to the United States of America. You have to understand where these people, a lot of these people, where they come from in their homeland, a lot of places tricking is what they do. But yet, let a black woman out here trick. She getting locked up. But they can trick all day long. But the Asian caucus has never advocated for their people to be locked up. The Hispanic caucus has never advocated for their people to be locked up. There are actually Hispanics that take advantage of other Hispanics who come over and have an illegal status. They do just like the white people. They make them work. They don't want to pay them. They threaten them with ICE, just like the white folks. They do that to their own people. But you don't hear the Hispanic caucus talking about, hey, we need to go after people doing that. They taking advantage of immigrants. No, they don't say anything. But only our caucus, the black caucus. And now we know, because at the time we wasn't looking at where people come from. We weren't looking at loyalties. We weren't looking at any of that. Because, we had the mindset, hey, we all black. We need to stick together. But as we've seen that people who wasn't from the soil had different mindsets about black Americans, we just didn't know. So really the conversation about delineation, we were late to the party because everybody else came through the door delineating. You understand what I'm saying? The majority of the black world delineates. And now when black America started delineating, everybody want to crawl foul about it or call it xenophobia, but everybody else is doing it first. Right? So Biden and them, notice he's never advocated for a crime bill for meth or heroin or fentanyl. Where's the crime bill for that? Where is it? You know why he's not advocating for a crime bill for that? Because a lot of his people are on that. And that's taking his people out left and right. Because he wants to try to not put his mass incarcerate his people. Actually, he will save his people by mass incarcerating them at this point. Because so many of them are dying daily, dying wholesale with this fentanyl. And a lot of it is coming from Mexico, China. They're attacking the United States without even firing a shot with these drugs.
Phil is absolutely right about that. And if any of you doubt it, I'll tell you what you do. If you remember my Patreon, go over there and search for a document called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. You read through that. Then you come back and visit this broadcast and think about what Phil just said and tell either one of us if we're wrong about that. Because, see, there's more than one way to fight a war and win one. Okay? Any of you that's familiar with Sun Tzu's The Art of War, okay, or The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, or one of my favorites, The Black Art of War, The 99 Truths of Hannibal, if you read through any of those books that I just mentioned, you will see several different ways to disrupt nations by using tactics such as this. See, if you can't send an army over there, okay, there's multiple ways to get to an enemy. First, you study your enemy. Assess the strength of the nation. Assess the psychology of the nation. Then start looking at what are the vices of the people. Oh, you a nation that you like your drugs? Okay, cool. No problem. We got drugs over here. Let's send you the best we got. Oh, you want to turn your men and feminize them? Cool, we taking note of that. Meanwhile, you got China teaching their toddlers military tactics. Huh? Look, I could go on and on about this, because see, this portion of the broadcast, I'm directing it to you goofy white supremacists. You're focusing on anti-black racism. We are the most patriotic people in this country. We have never tried to commit an insurrection, January 6th, against the government. We fought in every single war this country have had. We've done everything to prop up the nation that our ancestors built under duress. And you sitting here focusing on us and you missing the whole big picture of the enemy that's working right under your nose. And if you doubt what I'm saying, remember the incident where China was sending all these weather balloons just floating all across American airspace. Oh, but you got to stop the niggers though, huh? We didn't put no air balloons up there spying on government secrets. Oh, I mean, but hey, I'm reaching. Y'all know me. They tell me I'm reaching all the time on Twitter and everything. So I'll just be quiet about that. Let's let Brother Phil continue.
But they don't say nothing about that. But let a brother have any little thing in his pocket, he going to jail for 30 years. Now, on top of all of that, he don't criminalize his community. We know Biden, as you heard, Biden has been a stone cold white supremacist. That's nothing new. Hanging out with Strom Thurmond, he has been a racist. He was considered the Dixiecrat back in the 1940s. And we know the Dixiecrats is the original party. The Democrat Party is the party of the Klan. Everybody that know American history knows that. And they want to act like they're not the party of, they was never the party of the Klan. Now, on top of that, we know Biden always had some white supremacist tendencies. Well, you may say, well, he picked Kamala. Well, let me tell you something about that. Y'all don't understand how white supremacy work. And a lot of you don't understand how white supremacist males work. They're not threatened by a black female, and definitely not threatened by a woman who's unsure who she is.
Now, let's pause that part right there, because Phil is right. They're not threatened by a single black female and one that doesn't know who she is. But like we saw that example of the sisters earlier in the broadcast, sisters that are unified and on code that know who they are. Oh, yeah, they know that's a problem. Oh, they know that's a problem. So Brother Phil is right. As an individual, especially if you off code and you confused about your identity like Kamami, oh, yeah, you ain't no problem. Okay, or even if you a Foundation of Black American sister and you done sold us out and join that boule crowd, oh, they ain't worried about you. Hey, give her a little position, make sure she got a little money, get her hair and nails, and then go on a few vacations. Oh, she don't care about her people. Get an army of sisters that step back and to look at the big picture in comparison to other women's situation in this country that are above them on the socioeconomic ladder. And now black women, the ones that are on code, are starting to say, hey, you know what, damn it? Why the hell should I have to work like a man when you are helping all these other groups as a collective, but you only boost us and there's only so much we can do by ourselves? See, the sisters with sense, they're like, hey, man, no, we're not going for that no more. And look, I talk shit about the bisexuals, but it's better late than never. This is your chance to get your get back, sisters, because most of you are hardcore Democrats, and yes, and some silly black men went along with it, but we know most of them, if they're not in that old generation that's going to get on up out of here, it is what it is, life is going to happen. They're part of the fairy dust community, the ones that are off code, okay? So that's what most of the men that's voting Democrat for it. You either one of them or the other, okay? The younger black men from 18 to up in, I'll say 40, okay, 18 to 40, nah, we ain't going, buddy. So, sisters, for those of you that are on code, this is your chance to get your get back. Let's let Brother Phil continue.
1 minute Kamala says she's Jamaican. 1 minute she says she's black. The next minute she says she's Indian. That woman don't know what she want to be. I always say pick a side. That way, at least stand on it, right? Another time she calls herself an Asian, so he ain't got nothing to worry about her with her advocating for black people. But they would never really want to be around black men, because black men is the one they can't stand, right? And they in competition with black men. And those same kind of men will lay up with a black woman, have a whole kid. Senator Strom Thurmond, that he never claimed he was a deadbeat daddy. He was a racist and laid up with a black woman, made a whole child. The black woman actually was his housekeeper that cleaned the house. He laid up, had a whole baby with this black woman, and he never took care of his kid, never did whatever. He hid this kid for a long time. It was a girl. Strom Thurmond, the same one that Biden was talking about, his buddy, Senator Thurmond. So this is who Biden was rolling with, y'all. But y'all had to get Trump out? Okay, fine. And let's call it what it is.
Bit of history onto that, too, while he's mentioning the long departed, may he rest in peace, Strom Thurmond, former Klansman, okay? Go look this up and see if your brother's telling the truth about this or not. Do you know that when it comes to the most notorious crime bill, the 94 crime bill, do you know that old hardcore Strom Thurmond actually voted against it? I promise you, go look. This is on public record. I'm telling you, you probably think I'm tripping. I think I've covered that on a previous broadcast, but go look it up for yourselves. It is on record. Strom Thurmond actually voted against the 94 crime bill. So now what does that tell you? A stomped down hardcore Klansman was looking at Joe like, damn, man, I hate the niggers too, but, I do kind of got a little, half black niggers, baby. So I don't hate them that much, but this you doing, Joe. This is too much. Look, I'm just saying, go look it up for yourselves. Let Brother Phil continue.
Show me the legislation that Trump passed that wholesale locked us up. Show it to me. Hey, let me know what it is. I'll cover it. No problem. But you're not going to find it because he didn't do that. You got more vitriol toward Trump than this dude that was relishing in locking black people up. He said crack, and black people was on that. He said, I wrote the bill. I want him in there 100% of the time. I don't want the judge to have no leeway or sympathy for you. He got to put you in jail, period. Another clip, he said that they may have issues, but they let them fix themselves in jail away from my family. Biden was saying all this. But this is the guy that y'all ran to vote for. Because Uncle Ruckus Clyburn told y'all to go vote for him. And yeah, for some reason, I don't understand why he got any stroke, because he ain't crap to me. I wouldn't listen to a man like that. It's something I really want to say. Should I go there? I don't trust a man that don't know what he want to do with his hair. In other words, I know some people going to probably get offended with what I'm saying. I don't care. That's just my opinion. I don't trust a guy like, okay, if I'm losing my hair, I'm going to make a decision. Either I'm going to cut it all off or I'm going to get the hair transplant surgery and keep go ahead and keep it and grow it back, right? They doing it all over the place. Clyburn can afford the hair transplant surgery, right? And he won't go do it. Listen, if you're losing your hair and you don't want to do it, man, the Michael Jordan and them made bald heads popular back in the day. It's still popular now. Make your choice. I know some people may get mad, but it is what it is.
Oh, I'm not mad. It's hilarious. Hey, listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Phil's a humble guy. Cool, easy, nice going, easy going brother. But his roast game is off the chain. If you ever get the roasting, he don't do it often. But if you ever get him the roasting on you, boy, oh my God, that is funny. Listen, man, when you talking about fish fry Clyburn, his head do look like a little horseshoe crab. If you look at the top of old fish fry Clyburn's head, Phil was getting on him, man. Look, I agree with him, man. And for anybody, y'all don't say that about him. Listen, man, what these bastards have done to our people, man, hey, they're going to get these jokes. That's the least of their worries, okay? Because see, what I want them to get along with these jokes is political punishment. Like Brother Phil said, whoever you vote for, don't vote for these damn Democrats. You have to be a fool to look at the information that we showing you and then go verify it yourself. Because see, neither one of us, this is one thing I can say that all new black media platforms have in common, even if we have slightly different messages. When we show you something, we don't even want you to just take it at face value. We show you the information. We want you to go research it yourself, look up what we're saying and be like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. So anybody but the Democrats, okay? Anybody but the damn Democrats. Let's let it continue.
I don't trust a guy like that, especially in leadership. Make a decision. But Clyburn said all this, and y'all jumped on it, right? Okay, fine. Now let's fast forward. He is the president. Talking about 50 years of hip hop. Okay, no problem. Well, when you are a white supremacist that always was relishing and locking up black people and talking about you wrote the bill and all of that, well, you can't hide that forever. Case in point, this video talking about with the Congressional Black Caucus now that he's going to say this. Go ahead, watch this.
Great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J.
Oh, my Lord. Why? And black folks are laughing at that.
By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been an MC Light. Both of you, thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard correctly. Biden called him a boy. And we know, especially you from the South, we know about the terminology of boy. Racists call black men boys. And they call black children, definitely the black children, men. They call them men because they feel good at harming or taking out a black child. They call a black man a boy because to disrespect them and treat them like an invalid and everything else that they do in society. And also, they want to take us out. Hey, I took out this boy. You understand what I'm saying? Boy is a white supremacist word when it comes out of the mouth of them. Anybody else that uses the word boy, it doesn't sting or have the history that it do with the white supremacists. So for him to initially say boy, and the Shield's gonna say, oh, he just made a mistake. That's why he said man. And he realized, oh shoot, let me say man, because I don't really want to have no issues and problems, right? Talking about the man's muscles. You're supposed to talk about music. Why are you sitting up there looking at the man's muscles for? Well, I don't think about LL Cool J's muscles or anything else. When I think about LL Cool J, I think about his music. That's it. But whatever. So a lot of people jumped on Biden with that. But like I said, it doesn't surprise me because as you get older, you just don't really hold back as much anymore. It's kind of hard to fake some things. And then, of course, his situation, he don't know if he's coming or going half of the time. So, he's going to let it hang all out. But toward the end, he mentioned MC Lyte. Now, MC Lyte, I definitely remember her, from back in the day. She's definitely one of the legends of hip hop. But MC Lyte, instead of her just going to the event, no, MC Lyte makes a tragic mistake. Now, what is the tragic mistake MC Lyte has made, ladies and gentlemen? She decides to start shilling for Biden. Let's put this up. See, this is MC Lyte's page. What a fantastic article by Hollywood Unlocked by Blue, whoever that person named. Highly informative and easily digestible. Now, this right here is some shilling. Now, before I even get into this, she cut the comments off, y'all. I saw this last night. Sister Demetria had showed me this post. Shout out to Sister Demetria. And they were flaming her. Oh, y'all think I'll be talking? Man, black people was going in on her, telling her this is not it. What are you doing? Democrats don't do nothing for black people. That was like the overall theme. Everybody kept saying is that the Democrats don't do nothing for black people. Are you selling out? Come on, MC Lyte, you better than this. I mean, yeah, people went in on her for this. I mean, a major backlash, and she turned the comments off.
Now, let's address that because, see, when she turned them comments off, MC Lyte, this shows you that not only do you think that you so much smarter than black people, you cut them comments off because you didn't want people to tell you what you already knew was wrong, because she knows that. That woman's not stupid. But see, when they make these divisions between us like that, even something as simple as cutting off the comment section, when your people are trying to talk to you, we got to say, okay, no problem. You don't want to connect with the grassroots and the people that you relied on to help build your career? Cool. Keep that same energy. Now you get to stay over there with Mass and them. Can't come back over here because they always break their tools, okay? So look, I've said it many times. Today, at this hour of our history, everybody's being forced to show their true colors. I love it. It is a beautiful time to be alive, okay? Everybody's being forced to choose where they stand. It's up to us to hold them accountable for that. Make your decisions wisely. Because, see, we're going to remember who's standing against our community with the people that harm our community. And Brother Phil's about to break a lot of how they're harming our community down right now. Let's let him continue.
So this is what she's posting on her page. She's risking her legacy. Her legacy, that people respect her in the community. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of you rappers, R&B singers, etc. Don't throw away your legacy for Biden or the Democrats, okay? Them people got money. They're going to go to Martha's Vineyard and chill. They're going to go to wherever they go to have a good time, right? Live their life. They're not going to worry about you.
That part. And salute to the brother 400 for the cash out. But he's absolutely right about that. They're going to break their tools, leave you hanging to face the wrath of your people, and they got a whole system of white supremacy to rely on. You don't, shills of Shillomania. That's what I call them, the shills of Shillomania. You already know I did a broadcast on that. Yeah. So participate in Shillomania if you want to. When the folks turn on you, you're going to stay over there with Mass and them.
You just still depend on shows, some of you, right? And people don't want to mess with you no more. Biden not going to give you a dime. So when it comes to serving the black community specifically, look at the word specifically. Since being in office, the Biden-Harris administration has invested over $7 billion in America's HBCUs. And none of the books are audited by those HBCUs. Deion Sanders, one of the reasons why he left Jackson State is because they were stealing the ticket money. They was finessing. All them billions that so-called Biden them gave, people were stealing. That's why the facilities wasn't upgraded. That's why our black kids don't have the same things like the PWIs, because people are stealing. And the majority of black America don't go to the HBCUs. So how are you doing something for black America? You're doing that for a specific group of black people. Gotten black unemployment down to near record lows. Most black people say that's a lie. Reduced the black child poverty rate by more than 12%. No, you didn't. Created more than 13.4 million jobs in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. You didn't do anything like that for black people specifically. Reversed decades of infrastructure divestment in communities of color. Communities of color doesn't mean black people. Communities of color could be Hispanic, Asian, East Indian. It could be Arab. It could be a whole lot of other people. So you mentioned black people at the top, but then you go into color or communities of color, including investing $4 billion to reconnect communities to economic opportunities. What are these economic opportunities that you did this for? Remember, you said you did this specifically for black people, but you already gave the finesse there, communities of color. Increased black enrollment in healthcare.gov, coverage by a whopping 49% from 2020 to 2022. There's a tax penalty, or last time it was a tax penalty. I don't know I think that went away. But anyway, some people had no choice, and healthcare.gov is too expensive for a lot of people. Made maternal mortality, which affects black mothers 3 times more than anyone else, a national priority, including expanding postpartum coverage through Medicaid from 2 months to 12 months and increasing coverage from 3 states to 35 states. You did not do anything for black women in maternal mortality because the problem isn't postpartum coverage through Medicaid. It is not about anything with the states. It's about your racist Medicare system, what has always taught doctors that black people don't feel pain like white people do.
And the more demonic thing on top of that, and this is something that I hate to say, but we have to tell the truth about it. The other thing that they're doing, I got to say this exactly like it is. And most sisters are going to understand where I'm coming from. The one thing that threatens the white supremacists more than anything is new black life. Okay? So, you're a pregnant sister. You going into these damn hospitals and you don't have people from our lineage, because that's another thing that's a conversation for another day. Don't think just because it's somebody with your skin tone, we got to make sure it's people from our lineage. We need more people from our lineage in these hospitals when it comes to our sisters giving birth, because they're just as anti-black as Master them. Okay? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to go there in a future broadcast one day. But see, new life threatens them because their population is on decline through no fault of ours. This is the most high punishing your wicked asses, not us. So when our sisters are in there, they do everything they can to make sure that your pregnancy is as difficult as possible. And they're hoping for, as insidious and evil as this is, but we know this is how these people are. They want to make sure that not only do you lose your baby, they want to make sure you go with it. Because you are the gateways of new life for our people, okay? So if you keep supporting these damn Democrats, think about it. Let's sit black men to the side for a minute. But see, I got to make this make sense. We're going to sit the brothers to the side for a minute. If you're going to tell me as a black woman that, I need to support Joe Biden and the Democrats, okay, like I said, leave black men alone for a second. Have they even addressed one of the most serious issues that you facing when you go into these damn hospitals? About how high the mortality rate is for our sisters trying to give birth? Have they even mentioned anything about that in specific? Not just vague talk. I'm talking about, look, let me put it this way. Have they come out swinging for you about that specific issue? Like they trying to get these illegal aliens over here? Huh? Are they talking like that? Because if they're not, sitting black men to the side for a minute, that should be the main reason that you should not vote for them. They're trying to make sure that your life is in danger every time that you go into these hospitals. Okay. So I'm just sitting that out there for a minute. But see, I want to make this broadcast stick tonight before it's over with. For all of you that's still on the Biden sexual train, okay. You're going to have to either shut this down and not listen to it. But if you listen to this, it's going to be some common sense reasons over here for you to rethink that position. Let's let it continue.
When black people say they're in pain, they are ignored. Okay. There's racists in every part of the country. So when black women are having a baby, the racists want to cut on black women so quick because they don't respect black women. They want to get money out of the insurance. That's why they want to do a C-section so fast instead of natural birth. It's been proven that black women, black people have a higher rate of health care. They're treated better, everything, when they have a black doctor. Okay? When you have a doctor who is not black, especially a Caucasian, you start running into these issues and problems.
Salute to the good brother 400 for the second cash app there, and salute to the good sister Vanessa Jones for the cash app. Thank you both very much. But this just reminded me of something. I know you're like, GBS, you a bookhead. You're always talking about books, this, books, that. Yes, I am. Hey, look, blame it on my parents. I was the kid that when I was bored, they throw me a dictionary. I sit there reading it for hours. I would entertain myself that way. Look, I can't get away from it. It reminds me of something, though, very important. I mentioned this book before, and I have it on my shelf. It's one of many. There was this bastard named Leander Perez. Okay. He was a white Hispanic. And the book is called Boss of the Delta. And it reminds me of one of the lines that he said. And I know this is very evil, but I have to speak plainly so that you understand the danger that we're up against when it comes to white supremacy. He said, the best way to hate an N-word is to hate him before he leaves his mother's womb. Now, you stop and think about that in conjunction to everything that you're hearing at this particular part of the broadcast where it's talking about mortality rate for our sisters going in here to give birth. You think Leander Perez was the last one to think that way? See, this is why we need more doulas and midwives, okay? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have any kids, but if I had a kid on the way, I knew I would not be taking my woman to none of these damn hospitals. Because see, I'm going to tell you something. I've seen people in our community, and I'm not going to mention their names, but my heart goes out to them. I think everybody knows who I'm talking about. They lost a child. I would not, man. You wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. If you come back to me and you told me that something happened to my kid, man, you know what? Let me not go there. Get that book, though. Get that book, Boss of the Delta. It chronicles Leander Perez, the white Hispanic governor of Louisiana back then. I mean, that will really open your eyes to a lot of stuff, but let's let it continue.
Okay. Now, that way you can address maternal mortality, but y'all not doing that. So stop lying. Expanded access to capital for minority-owned small businesses. Minority could mean white women. Minority could mean LGBT who are white. It could mean white disabled. It could mean white person with a handicap. It can mean that. Then it can mean Asian. It can mean Hispanic. It could mean East Indian. It could mean Arab, Native American. So you start at the top, say black, but then you use the communities of color, and you're using the term minority-owned small businesses with over 12 billion. And the way it works when it's called minority-owned small businesses or communities of color, everybody else, all the other colors and all the people, whites get it first, the white women, white LGBT, etc. Then usually in the racial hierarchy, it's Asians after that. And then, all the other groups, we at the bottom, Hispanics, but we're a little bit above us. And, I say a straight heterosexual black person, you're at definitely the bottom. The black LGBT is going to be above us, who are heterosexual. Let's call it what it is. That's their system, right? But even the black LGBT, you're not giving nothing to them either. So let's call that what it is. So stop lying. MC Light, you put this out and took a huge risk at losing your fans for something that's just not true. None of this is true. whatsoever. This is propaganda. No black person seen Biden and Harris do a freaking thing for black people. The whole time they've been in office, they ain't been talking to black people. But when it's time to get out there and vote, let's go ahead on and pander. Biden and Harris going to have to try a little bit harder.
How often do you think?
So now, you heard that, and Brother Phil did not tell no lies with everything they just said, because see that useless pandering? Oh no, that's gonna have to go. But I got to put something else on your minds here. Now, some of you probably recognize this individual, and yes, he is a stomp down, hardcore coon. But even a broken clock is right twice a day, because see, this is something that I want to put on the minds of not only foundational Black American freedmen, but all of you nosy white people that's in the clouds listening, because I know you stay over here listening to the black media. Well, you about to learn something, because see, Anthony Brown Logan, I came across this at random. I said, I need to show this to my audience, because see, I've told you many times, just because somebody's a coon does not mean that they're not intelligent. Doesn't mean that you can't learn something from them. He came across this content right here. And I want you to absorb what he's talking about, because it's very relevant and germane to what we're going through as a society, as Americans, in every race, okay? But I particularly want our people to learn from what he's about to say right here, okay? So I'm going to play this, and I want y'all to take some notes on this, because listen, man, this right here, he's spot on what he's saying.
Think of the Roman Empire. Let's talk about it. How everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this TikTok trend where women are asking their boyfriends, husbands, male significant others, how often they think of the Roman Empire. Now, this trend has gone viral. It's all over the place. There's a lot of good videos that have come from this. I'm not really sure how it started, but I tell you what, I am not mad at it, because on TikTok, there are a bunch of ridiculous, brainless, and quite frankly, dangerous challenges out there that should not be done. So this one that's more educational, that inspires you to learn if you don't know about the Roman Empire, this one I can most certainly get behind. Now, we're going to review 3 videos. The first one is going to be a very good take from a man about the Roman Empire and why he thinks of it often. Then we're going to get into kind of a compilation of others talking about it. Then we're going to get into a video of a young lady. I don't know if it's a parody or what, but she was kind of a hater in it, and we're going to get into what she said. But first things first, let's watch this very good clip from my man right here on X, formerly known as Twitter. Shout out to the Heauxs twins for reposting this. If you want to see this.
Nah, I can't shout out the Heauxs twins. You can shout out my ABL, but I can't shout out the Heauxs twins. Nonetheless, though, what he's about to review is going to be very important.
This clip and also everything else that'll be in this video. Link will be available in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Do you ever think about the Roman Empire?
All the time.
Why? What are you thinking about it?
Well, because we're in those times right now. Everybody's preoccupied with sports, movies, work,
What was it you said about bread?
Well, all right. The common people, Roman Empire said that everybody was equal. Everybody had a chance. But it wasn't. The rich got richer and the poor got poorer. And they worried constantly about people rioting. Because they knew that the common man, the common people, could take over at any time. So they would bring them into the Colosseums, and they would give them free grain, they would give them bread, they would give them wine, whatever they needed to fill their bellies and block their minds from what they were angry about. They would watch plays, they would watch fights with the gladiators, sometimes for months on end. And that's where we're at right now. And I think about it all the time, because so many people are preoccupied with their favorite football team, their favorite actor, actress, singer, and they just don't even think about what's being taken away from them. As long as their bellies are full and they're happy with what's going on, they just let it continue.
Wow.
Very, very good. Now, shout out to her.
Right.
See, you see the caption right here? The caption says, I asked my husband if he ever thinks about the Roman Empire. I was not prepared for his response, with a few emojis laughing and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's a general sentiment about what's going on. Women are not really prepared for the responses they get from their significant others. But this is a good one. This was very good. What he said, pandemic circuses, bread and circuses. That's what's going on, where you're just giving all these things to fill your belly up, to distract you, so you don't focus on what's really happening. I said it a long time ago. People say, hey, ABL, will there be a civil war in this country? Will the people rise up? I'm like, I doubt it, because as long as you got your Sunday night football, your Netflix, and now we got all the drugs being legalized. People say, oh, we should legalize drugs. So you don't understand what's happening. It's an extension of bread and circuses. They'll give you entertainment. They'll give you all this stuff. And then, hey, you know what? You want to numb yourself? Well, we got Big Pharma. Fentanyl is a Big Pharma creation. All right. So you can get high on drugs, drink yourself to death. You can do whatever you want. They're legalizing weed. Then it's going to be shrooms. Then it's going to be whatever. So you're going to see a bunch of drug addicts laying in the street. You think that they need medical help and they should, get an ambulance called on them. But the reality is they want to be in that state. Bread and circuses. They may have their own favorite football team as well. They'll get high and watch the game. Meanwhile, we got rampant inflation. We got the strikes happening. We have Southern border being inundated with illegal aliens. I don't care about that. I got my Netflix. I got my weed. I got my crack, heroin. I'm straight. That's what's going on right now. So what he said right here was right on point. All right. And again, that term, what he was referring to, bread and circuses, that comes from the Roman Empire. And we're speaking about the Western Roman Empire that fell like 476. We ain't talking about the Byzantine Empire. That was much later and a different story. So I digress. Now, here is another video, kind of a compilation of people talking about the Roman Empire. Again, women are asking their boyfriends or whatever about the Roman Empire. How often do they think of it? And you're going to see their responses.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Annually, maybe?
I don't know, at least twice a day.
Sometimes I think about it every day.
Every time I fight people,
crazy.
I think about like walking into the Colosseum.
Are you not entertained?
Either about their armor, their swords, their roads, their armies. You have to be ready for battle at all times, and the Roman Empire is all about battle.
When the goal of being conquered by France, then I just went, oh, they weren't as good as the Romans, though.
So the concept once a year.
Yeah.
And then anything 5 times a year.
Yeah. You remind me of Rome, so Marcus Aurelius.
So the Catholic Church, Vatican City.
And by the way, Marcus Aurelius, probably arguably one of the best Roman emperors. One of the best. Reading comprehension, that's something that he championed, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I have my thoughts on the Roman Empire. I'll talk about that a little bit later.
City Hall, that was actually started by Constantine, who was one of the last Roman emperors.
So every day.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what's going on. Okay, we can get into a lot of the geography, and that's really a big one too. That the geography of it, when you're talking about the full extent of it, like early in the Roman Empire, like right around 100 AD or so, it went from the Iberian Peninsula, current day Spain, Portugal, all the way over to current day Middle East, over to like up against the Persians and their whole thing. I think about not only the Roman Empire, but the Persian, the later Roman, the Byzantine, the Ottoman Empire, Constantinople, which came about a lot later. But now, here is a video from a young lady, and please do not harass this lady. Any negative comments, just put them right here. But she's on TikTok giving her take on it. Now, I can't tell if this is comedy or what, but a lot of people are agreeing with her. So it doesn't really matter what she says. What matters is what the people think about what she says, right? Let's go ahead and roll this. Then I'm going to give my take on it and talk more about the Roman Empire from my point of view.
Your boyfriend can't stop thinking about the Roman Empire. That's so cute. Ask your boyfriend, during what years approximately did the Roman Empire rise and fall? How long did it last? What are some influences that the Roman Empire had on American government? What did we get from them? Why is it an empire? What makes it so historically significant?
I mean, why you gotta like? What's the point in trying to challenge somebody like that? You see what I'm saying? Like, just ask a question and then get the response. See, the challenging nature, that's just being confrontational for no reason. You're just being confrontational if you're being serious.
Your boyfriend doesn't know anything about the Roman Empire. Your boyfriend is thinking about the movie Gladiator, and he wishes that he was muscular and covered in oil and wearing armor, and there were girls at his feet who were naked and fanning him with giant leaves. That's what he's thinking about. It's just so funny this shit won't make up, so that something like dumb and silly that boys do sounds impressive and important and like smart. You're giving them too much credit. They're not thinking about the Roman Empire. They're thinking about like Russell Crowe and sweat and shiny outfits. That's what they're thinking. Your boyfriend can't stop thinking.
Okay, so that's what's going on. That's her particular take on it, which is, a bad take. Again, I can't tell if she's some kind of comedian or that's parody or what, but I was reading the comments and people were agreeing with her, saying, yeah, they don't know anything. They're talking about Russell Crowe, Gladiator. Well, the gladiators were slaves, okay, number one. And number two, that's the whole bread and circus argument. Like, a lot of men, when we're thinking about the Roman Empire, we're thinking about the fall. We're thinking about the bad things, some of the good things as well, and some of the modern day influences like the Senate we get from them, a lot of stuff. But the fall of it, and some of the negative things, bread and circus, that was Gladiator 100% of the time. That's what that was. You go to the Coliseum and you watch your sports. That's just what that was. But yeah, now as far as me, do I think about the Roman Empire? I think about it quite a bit. I think about the fall. I think one thing is the LGBT. That's really big, and also the aristocracy, the emperors, the ruling class in the Roman Empire back before the fall. I think about that all the time. I think about some of the emperors, Julius Caesar. What they say, a man for every woman and a woman for every man. Okay, they said he was a switch hitter. Elagabalus, another one, same thing. Said he was a prostituted themselves to men and women. And then who else? Marcus Aurelius was a good one. And then you had, what was it? Nero. Nero was terrible. Had a husband and a wife, allegedly beat his wife to death. And then he had his husband castrated and paraded him around in women's clothing. That's like a post-op transgender. So a lot of the things we're dealing with right now.
Now, y'all probably gonna think hell is frozen over, but listen, ABL's take on this is absolutely correct. Because see, when you look at it from the standpoint of history, and we all know the phrase, those who do not learn from their history are doomed to repeat it. When you look at these imbecilic, demonic, dirty, low-down Democrats and the goofy parts of the dominant society and the other party, okay? When you look at what's going on right now, I mean, it's mirroring the Roman Empire. One of the things that you can be sure of when you study history, when we're talking about any type of empire, but particularly the Roman Empire in this example, when the morals of a society start to decline, that society, that empire, that kingdom is on its way out. Ain't nobody argue with what he's saying right here, because like I said, the dude got his controversial views on other things. I've gotten on him about that, but I'm looking at the big picture, what he's talking about right here, okay? Because see, for all of you white folks that's over here being nosy, you better think about this, because the clip that he showed of that little goofy, brain-dead alabastress of theirs, see, the white women, they can afford to just be oblivious and run around like big overgrown children. But anybody with any sense would be paying attention to that. That's a very important question to ask. How often do you think about the Roman Empire? Because we're seeing shades of it right here in this country right now with some of these decisions. Look at Jim Crow Joe. You cannot sustain a country doing what he's doing just off the illegal alien issue alone. There's no way to sustain it. Look at Chicago. Look at the issues New York are facing right now. Other cities right now. I could be here all day naming them, okay? So here's the thing. For those of us with sense that are Americans, I don't care whether you black, white, whatever. If you love this nation, you better start focusing on the right things. Because see, I'm going to mention two right now that's got to go. That temporary protected status, that needs to be permanently abolished. And that sanctuary city crap, that needs to be permanently abolished. Those are two things that have to change. Because see, I'll give it to you this way. If you're trying to stop something from occurring, you need to deal with the source of the problem first, okay? Putting Band-Aids on and patching, that don't help. So, again, when it comes to this particular example right here, the fall of the Roman Empire, yeah, everybody with sense, yeah, we see how that applies to our present state right here in America. But I'm going to let ABL continue because, listen, like I said, a broken clock is right twice a day. Let him continue.
Society have already happened before in the Roman Empire. And a lot of those things led up to the Western Roman Empire, which we know of as, the fall of Rome. That's what led to their collapse. Or I don't want to say the open homosexuality among the aristocracy. I don't want to say that was necessarily the cause, but maybe it was like an effect of a society that had become degenerate. You see all these things start to happen, and then you see the society fall.
And speaking of degenerate, corrupt Roman emperors, he mentioned Nero, and Nero was batshit crazy. Don't forget Caligula. Listen, man, I broke that history down on this channel, or that Caligula was something else, boy. So I mean, yeah, I mean, we see a bunch of Caligulas in office right now. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Let it continue.
It's always like that. Go back to the Bible. You could say that the Bible is fiction or whatever, but it doesn't really matter because a lot of the things in there happened. A lot of the things in there continue to happen. When you have a society where you embrace the LGBT, when that becomes part of the ruling class's dogma, that affects society and eventually is going to collapse. But as I close, I want to say this. The Roman Empire is very important to understand, to study, to glean knowledge from, and to hopefully look at as an example of what to do and what not to do. But unfortunately, it's like we take the good and the bad from the Roman Empire and just do it anyway. Or maybe it's just it's an effect of society doing very well, the elites doing very well, and there being kind of a battle in between the haves and the have-nots. I can't really tell, but I think there's a lot of parallels between what's happening right now in society in the West. Not just USA, but the West, Europe as well. It's a lot of parallels between what's happening right now in the West and the fall of Rome. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this, on the fall of Rome or the Roman Empire in general? Not just the fall, but all of what the Roman Empire gave to the world, what it did in society that worked, things that didn't work. Byzantine Empire, and then after that, the Ottoman Empire. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think about this quite a bit, quite often, not every day, but quite often. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a history buff about the Roman Empire, but I know a few things, and I think that it's important to understand. And I think a lot of men, and a lot of people, women too, when you ask them certain questions, you may get a surprising response. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.
And there you have it, family. And like I said, yeah, y'all heard it right. Hell is going to freeze over because, listen, that's one of the few times the ABL got it right, man. And yes, Diesel Mike, my brother, you're right. Caligula did make his horse a senator. Listen, man, if you want to see the depths of white supremacist insanity, study Caligula and Nero, particularly from the Roman Empire. Man, listen, very few people in history come close to matching that kind of crazy, okay? And look, we got their descendants right over here today, okay? So, family, I put this broadcast together tonight to try to impress it upon our people first and foremost. We better get our house in order. We have to be on code as black men and black women. There's no room for any type of gender warring. We have to analyze things just as if we're on a battlefield because we're fighting for our future. Make no mistake about that. Our future is on the line. And this is a battle that we want to win and make sure we come out in an empowered state. We got to make sure we have each other's back and make intelligent decisions going forward. So with that said, salute to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Thank you very much for joining us over here tonight. Hopefully you learned something from this, share with other people, work with like minds around you, and remember to protect yourselves at all times because we all we got, family. That's it. Saluting Black first, and I will see you all in future content.